There were many reasons behind the outbreak of First World War. The most important reason was the competition among European nations for colonies. This competition led to conflict among them and caused mutual distrust and enmity. Mutual distrust was so intense that European nations are unable to identify their friends and enemies. This mutual distrust led to formation of many military alliances. Mainly, there emerged two military alliances. Triple Alliance was one of them. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy were the members of this alliance. Triple Entente was another military alliance formed this time. England, France and Russia were the members of this alliance. Formation of such alliances created a war atmosphere in Europe. Each countries in Europe started to manufacture and buy lethal weapons. The European nations resorted to various strategies to succeed in their imperialistic competitions. Aggressive nationalism was one of them. Aggressive nationalism means considering their own nations as supreme and justifying whatever be the action of their nations. As a result of this, there emerged many new movements. Pan-Slav movement was one of such moments. It was started with the help of Russia. Russia wanted to unite the Slavic people of Serbia, Bulgaria, Greece, etc. in Europe under their leadership. Another movement formed during this time was Pan-German movement. This movement came to being under the leadership of Germany. Germany wanted to establish its dominance in Central Europe and Balkan provinces by uniting the Teutonic people. Another important movement of this period was Revenge movement. This movement was formed under the leadership of France. This movement was to have started to regain the territories of Alsace-Lorraine, which was occupied by Germany in 1871 from France. Imperialist rivalry drove the European countries into several crises. Moroccan crisis was one of such crises. Morocco was a country located on the western side of Africa. In 1904, a secret treaty was signed between Britain and France. According to this treaty, Britain recognized the claim of France over Morocco. But Germany opposed this secret treaty as they had a financial interest over Morocco. Germany sent battleship to Moroccan port to conquer it. This time, France was ready to negotiate. By agreeing to transfer part of French Congo to Germany, France solved this problem temporarily. However, the rivalry between France and Germany continued. Balkan crisis was another crisis emerged during this time. The Balkan region situated in Europe, close to Aegean Sea and the Black Sea. Once, it was a part of the Ottoman Empire. In 1912, a Balkan League was formed under the leadership of Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, and Montenegro, and defeated Turkey in the war. But soon there emerged conflicts among these nations in sharing of the benefit of the war. And war was broke out. During these days, Serbia was trying to ensure its dominance over this region. Russia supported Serbia in its claim. But, at the same time, Austria was also claiming this region. Germany came forward to support Austria. The immediate reason for the war was happened in June 1914. The heir of the Austrian throne, Francis Ferdinand, and his wife, was assassinated by a Serbian youth called Gavrilo Princip. at the Bosnian capital, Sarajevo, in June 1914. Austria held Serbia responsible for this, and declared war on Serbia on the 28th of July 1940. The Allied nations rushed to help their allies. Almost all nations of the world, directly or indirectly, were involved in this war. Therefore, this war is known as First World War. The First World War, which stretched from 1914 to 1918, killed lakhs of people. After 4 years of continuous war, alliance under the leadership of Britain came victorious. The war produced far-reaching impact across the world. Over 10 million people lost their lives, or were injured in the war. Economic dominance of Europe diminished. Poverty, unemployment, and inflation increased. Liberation movements in Asia and Africa strengthened. Agriculture, industry, and communication system were destroyed. Many dynasties in Europe lost their power. Romanov in Russia, Hohenzollern in Germany, and Habsburg in Austria-Hungary, etc. are the examples of such dynasties. One of the positive impacts of the First World War was the formation of the League of Nations to bring about peace in the world. Peace efforts. A peace conference was convened at Paris in 1919 to discuss post-war situation under the leadership of winning allies, like Britain and France. They signed different treaties with the different nations. Among these treaties, Versailles Treaty, signed with Germany in 1919, was the most important one. According to this treaty, German colonies were divided among the victorious powers, and Germany was forced to pay a huge amount as war indemnity. The winning powers conquered rich mines of Germany. Above all, war guilt was imposed on Germany, and Germany was disarmed.